Welcome to Founders Field Note, the podcast where you can learn from founders how to be founders. I'm founder and CEO of Klugonyx Group, Jason Klug. And this week, we have our first episode with two guests, Michelle and Jen with Fore All. You can see here, they gave me a very nice hat that I've been wearing golfing, and it's very quality. This week's episode is sponsored by Dry Home. I know it's low-hanging fruit for me because I own it, but hear me out. So, Dry Home creates thoughtfully designed home goods that use diatomaceous earth to rapidly dry moisture in your home. This is our Dry Home Bath Stone. This is our Zen Sandstone colorway. You can see right before your eyes, it dries so quickly. Right before your eyes. We have a whole plethora of products that you could use in your kitchen, your bathroom, your laundry room, wherever moisture is a problem in your home, like drying your dishes. Where does your soap live? Next to your sink? It should live on a beautiful Dry Home sink caddy. Or if you're drying your dishes, they should be dried on the Dry Home dish pad, which also utilizes our trademarked Diomat material. Check it out, dryhome.com, www.dorai.com or dryhome.com. They both work. And for 15% off, use the term founders, all caps. Thank you, Dry, for sponsoring. Okay, this week's episode, we have Jen Clyde and Michelle Weir from Fore All, a new and exciting golf brand that is really hitting a niche that needed to be filled. It was women's golf apparel industry has been pretty much the same, for many years. And now Fore All has already made a huge impact, and they're winning awards and they're growing this massive community. They have a huge following already, and they're really only at the tip of it. They're just getting started. Rapidly growing brand and community that fills the gap that has been in golf for a long time now, especially with women's apparel. Everything's like the same. It's very sporty, a lot of patterns, a lot of pink and stuff like that. Where Fore All, they bring a lot of style and modern high-end fashion to the table, and it stands out. I was at a golf store recently. Actually, now I've seen them at two golf stores. They not only have a section that stands out because everything, when it comes to their design language, is so consistent, so it pops and it's like this section of the store. But I noticed that the two women in the store, as I was around, I was buying a new golf club, I noticed that both of them ended up purchasing something from the Fore All section. And it just shows what is really going to happen with their brand moving forward. This is really only the start, and their potential is just limitless with where they can go with their company. So it's really exciting that I was able to sit down with them this early on and connect with them at just the beginning of their brand and their company. Part of, I think, their success is obviously building really excellent apparel and product and putting a lot of effort into the design, the fit, the materials, etc. It's very quality stuff. But with the community and the content that they're putting out, this also is part of their tagline where it's like, golfing's optional. I think that's a cool approach where it is less intimidating for someone to go. Maybe they're just going to the clubhouse to meet with some friends that want to golf and putting on the putting area and having a cocktail or whatever. The fact that they're welcoming that type of experience is a great way to get people to dip their toes in, and then over time, then they can be more into the game and try it out and go to the range and take a lesson and so on and so forth. So I appreciate how they've opened up the community and welcoming new golfers, experienced golfers, and anybody to tap into their community. So that is what's really going to motivate the game to grow. So listen in. This is new talking about the apparel side of product development and manufacturing, a lot of exciting and brilliant hustle that was brought to building this company, and you'll learn a lot about it. And then also the great balance of two co-founders that have a diverse skill set and how they apply it to build Fore All into what it is today, but also what it's going to become down the road. New York is where you do all of the development, and do you manufacture in New York as well?
Mm-hmm.
So how did you find that resource? What's that like?
So our partners at Worldwide Golf, they introduced us to a brand, men's golf brand called Red Family. And he was working with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they introduced us to that manufacturer and that relationship. And they had already cultivated that. So they, seen success and introduced us. And we found great success with them as well. So, there's always...
Because you're like pumping out so much stuff right now.
Yeah, man.
So like, what's the process? Like, who designs it? Do you like sketch it up on a napkin and you bring it to them? Like,
I mean, that's kind of how it started, truly. Like Jen and I, like just to give a little backstory, we were authentically just like very disappointed in the options that were available for women's golf. And Jen having like this business development, product development background, her brain goes directly to like, we've got to solve this problem. Where I was just like living with the problem. Jen was like, no, we're solving the problem. So I was like, okay, Clyde. So we eventually literally did kind of just start sketching out ideas like in my kitchen. Like my fiance, Mike, was like our angel investor and kind of got us off the ground and going. And so we just kind of started getting creative with like, I like this fabric from this brand, but I like the way this fits, but it just needs to be changed just a little. And so we kind of just, really were true and authentic to what we were drawn to. And in the meantime, we found an amazing designer who has made our life so much easier. But the processes we're actually still trying to refine because we were not aware of how much work goes into creating a whole line, because you create your line and then you've got to create the next season. And then the seasons keep coming. And then you're like, wait, how is this still happening?
Yeah.
And it's a constant like timeline.
Yeah,
like,
we didn't.
Oh, I get it.
No. Hell.
Yeah.
It's
like always a grind.
It's like a long day.
And as when one fire goes out, a new fire pops up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
While two other little fires are in the distance that you say, I don't care about those for now.
Yeah.
They can wait.
And on top of that, just building an internally healthy team in the midst of it all.
Yeah. Would you have a couple of your kids on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Austin.
So
I know Austin.
You know Ozzy?
Yeah, he came and helped me for a little bit.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he's a nice kid.
He's the best.
I like him.
And Taylor, her other son, Taylor.
Yeah.
Tech designer.
Is our tech designer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Jen comes with the whole package.
Yeah,
he's very hip.
No idea.
Yeah,
right?
he is. They're the best kids.
Wow.
No, Austin's been really good at the product development. Like it's been interesting kind of see. He went to digital design school.
Yeah.
And so originally he was just, he has always been like an artist and like wanted to do animation and like web design. And then, obviously he's obsessed with golf. So that always is helpful.
And he's got a great swing.
Great
he does.
swing.
He does. Yeah.
But it's kind of fun because he gets so passionate about the products that he's been developing, and he's like kind of a little inventor.
Yeah,
like he had this swing. Him and Michelle have been working on this like swing aid stuff. Like,
great. Oh, I think he showed it to me.
He loves you.
Smart.
He loves you.
He's so smart.
That's a great idea to get into, so you can do some accessories as well.
Well, and I think
for the off season, right?
Yeah, and I think it's all about like taking something that has already been done. We're not going to try to like constantly reinvent the wheel. That's not what we're here for. We're here to, if that happens along the way, that's great. But we're here to like make it pretty.
Yeah.
Like make it
fair enough.
Golf just needs a makeover bad.
Yeah.
And
it's
very
techy. Yeah. Like I golfed in China recently.
Oh, cool.
When I was there. And I went to this golf resort that has like 12 golf courses.
No.
And they had the best pro shop I've ever seen in my life.
Really? Oh,
They
yeah.
always do. Everyone
Dude.
pulls there and they say, you have to
Incredible.
go here. And
That's
then,
what we
You do
hear.
have to go there. You
Yeah.
don't manufacture in China, though, do you?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Then you should go visit your factories and play Mission Hills and get in their store.
Really?
Yeah, because like each, it's not just like everything mixed in. It's like, Adidas had their area. What was it called? Fila had a big area because
Really?
like Fila's making a comeback, right? And then,
kind of
Titleist and
man.
so like all of these brands had their own segmented areas. So they're well branded and kind of,
That's what we
I think Peter was
very
talking
well
about
set
that.
up.
Peter Shin was talking about. I remember him talking about Mission Hill.
Mission Hills.
Yeah.
It's the
Is
world's
that's what
biggest
he was
golf
saying?
resort.
Yeah.
It's so nice. Everybody gets a caddy. They ride on the back of the cart with you.
No.
Yeah.
It
I've
was
heard of this.
amazing. It was so fun.
That's
now,
cool.
Michelle's had her own caddy before, but I'm still waiting for the day.
It's a game changer. A
Oh, I know,
literal
I
game
love
changer.
caddies. I'll go out of my way to golf somewhere with a caddy.
Oh, yeah.
And I even try to like ask for caddies. And they're
Does
like,
it
I'm not
feel
going to caddy
weird?
you at McRiley's. Yeah.
Mick O'Reilly's. Get a caddy. Hey, you never know. People love golf so much, they might do it for you.
Yeah. You've
This
been
girl
2
over
years
here
now.
works so hard. So Jen's our CEO.
Oh, no, I see her grinding it.
And this girl
You're
is
grinding it.
unstoppable. It's like, I tell people like Jen is like this magical like unicorn that from the outside, you don't think there's any possible way she could like run an organization or like that she could be so good at managing so many people like because she seems so scattered.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, you do a fantastic job. I just want to
it's
see
like,
what...
like seeing her like do what she was born to do, which is to be a literal CEO, is one of the most incredible things to witness. She is just so good at like juggling so many things at one time and then like getting it all to come together and flow in a system. And she's the hardest working person I know.
Oh, stop.
Well, then what do you do?
Right there. Michelle's right there.
I try to support my fiance and support Jen.
He's a busy guy, right?
Yeah, he's busy and I'm the chief Zen officer.
Yeah, Michelle brings happiness and sunshine into the office.
That's important.
When she enters.
Yeah.
You got to have one of those. I will say, because like people get tired of me. Everyone's done with me. You know, and then Michelle walks in, they're like, Michelle! And then Michelle makes she makes me laugh. And I can be in the worst mood. And it's like instant, she just makes me giggle. Makes me laugh or just like, no, seriously. Like you have to have somebody like as a founder to come in and like really rally people up, get them excited about what they're doing. You know, if you don't have that, at some point, it's like mostly at a startup, as you guys know, it's like they will get burnt out. There's got to be something. Like Michelle will say, all right, guys, if you finish these tech packs by the deadline, you all get massages. I have a masseuse that comes. She's great. She's like, and she'll come to your house and like she'll get everyone massages. Or if, they work for basically golf, like these young kids, like,
they're
is that legal? Should we cut that out?
We'll work for golf.
Kidding.
We do pay them.
You do get an advantage. You do get a huge advantage in employing your kids, though, right? And you pay them up to $12,000 tax free.
That's true.
Yeah.
One day we'll get there.
Yeah.
No, if they weren't like getting married and having kids, I would. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, it's so funny. I never thought in a million years I would ever work with my kids. Not one time. And everyone's always like, oh yeah, they've always been creative. Yeah, they have, but they're really basically athletes. And so I don't know, this just came out of like left field. Austin was always like drawing and stuff. And
he made your logo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I thought he did your word mark.
He did the crest. He did the crest there.
Okay.
And then our FA. Yeah, he...
oh, by the way, I made you all something.
What?
Oh, what did you make us?
In those boxes there.
These?
Finally.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, can I...
What do you mean finally? Like
we talked about it like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I've been waiting for these. These are... So...
It's a
greenskeeper?
It's like a pitch mark tool in ball mark.
No way.
I was like, when are we getting ours? Because they're really nice. His products are so
It's not your green,
you've
I know.
shown me
But
this.
if you order 500, we can make it the same color as your green. Just saying.
Well,
Wait,
that's what we're doing.
who's selling these?
Me.
Where did we see this?
It's like my side brand.
But are you in golf shops?
No, we're so new.
No,
we just sell from our website.
This is amazing.
Thank you. It's like a pocket knife. So to close it, it's kind of hard. You push the little tab.
You and talking to
Let me show you.
Show me.
It's not like you push this little tab here, and it.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like a little button. Yeah.
That's epic.
And like your packaging is so well done.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
So it's like a side hustle. And
it looks.
I have a few of those.
Was talking about it, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, blah blah blah."
Yeah,
oh my gosh, our brand is on it.
I know.
There's
I
an
had
essay
it
on
laser
it. Oh
engraved.
My gosh.
Get out of here. I just noticed that.
When we're getting old, I literally had to get
so cool.
glasses
I was
now.
so like,
yeah, and like turned 43 and the whole world.
gosh dang it. What a kind thing.
Yeah, enjoy.
Wow, this is cool. Cool packaging, man.
No, his
Thank you.
stuff is legit.
Little sleeve you can
Cool
stick in.
packaging.
Do you know what my businesses do?
No, tell me more about you.
So like we have, this building has 4 businesses in it. I have the golf brand, which is my smallest business.
Okay.
I have a home goods company that I started with my wife. That is that whole warehouse. So that's grown to, it's like an 8-figure big brand.
Where do you sell?
Just a website and Amazon.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. So that was like a side hustle, so that company grew and I hired a CEO and she runs it now. So I let someone else run it. Oh, yeah, of course.
Good for
it's a female focused brand. So I did not feel right running it. So I hired an experienced CEO and she's like ex-Amazon, ex-Walmart.
Really?
Yeah. Even our warehouse team is mostly women.
Does she golf?
She does, but she's not good. But she loves it.
We're trying to get more CEOs and executive women.
I'm sure she'd be into it. Yeah. And then I run a full service product development and manufacturing business.
Cool.
So I have this office and I have an office in China.
Right on.
So I have 60 team members that help design, engineer, manufacture, and manage manufacturing for, I think we have like 90 clients now.
That's awesome. Yeah, Jen, tell me a little bit about that. That's so,
we make stuff.
How long have you been doing this?
10 years.
You love it?
Yeah. It's chaotic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It fits you perfectly. I can tell.
Yeah.
I don't really know you, but I can tell by your office.
I'm very ADHD.
No, it's me. I mean that.
Push the little tab.
He showed me. He just go like this.
Yeah, it's hard. But I chose to make it slim, then make it fat and do a little button,
Nobody wants something fat like that.
Yeah, so I made it thin and so it's a little harder to close, but it's like, but people don't want something thick in their pocket.
Once you know how to do it one time, you never forget.
Yeah, and honestly,
I'm glad you said that because that's been my argument this whole time. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I like this little thing. I'm really obsessed with magnets. Like that whole.
Yeah, me too.
This is great.
Designers love magnets.
Thank you so much for this because I've been waiting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we should do something
smart
with
little
you guys.
device.
We'd love to.
We don't have any, desire to make tools.
Yeah. But you're making great apparel.
No, we are.
I can't tell you how many people are like, I love their shit.
Oh, that's nice.
They do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gosh, that means so much.
We're having a lot of fun. I mean, I think for us, we've really been trying to kind of stay on, the preppy golf vibe is fun, right?
Sure.
You look at kind of some of these designs and it's like, how do we keep that fun element of golf, but then bring in some of our own kind of modern vintage, flair into it all. And I think we've done a really good job with it. And
definitely
between kind of me and you and Taylor in the beginning, kind of just conceptually putting things together and then incorporating Mikkel, our designer, we're so excited for what is to come.
Mm-hmm.
Our fall line is going to be so great. Spring of next year is looking incredible. So
you're doing 2 lines a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the fall is like half of the amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like for spring we did 30 SKUs, and then for fall though we did 14.
That's a lot of SKUs.
I know, it's
and
a
all
lot.
the sizes.
Well, and we did it intentionally.
And our size runs are huge.
Extra small to double X.
So challenging to manage.
It's thank you. It's incredibly challenging.
That's why I've been afraid to do apparel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
you should
the most challenging.
You should be very afraid.
I have no chance. Am I going to touch what you guys are doing?
I think apparel gets tricky. I think
it's very tricky.
If you don't have the right strategy or just kind of this, overall plan, long-term plan, it's like we have a very long-term plan where, we really want to expand into other countries and, possibly do some licensing stuff and that.
Sure.
But if we didn't have that and I was like, I just want to do an Etsy store or, it takes so much I don't think people really understand. I mean, I let my kids fail a lot because I want them to understand how hard it is. But like my son was like, oh, Amazon store. Everyone's like doing an Amazon store. This is my 18-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, we got like these boxes from like China on the doorstep. I'm like, oh, here he goes. You know, and give him like I got a t-shirt press, and then like give him like, you know, it was like 30 days later. I'm like, how's it going? He's like, this is hard. I was like, yeah, it is hard because you don't know where you're going to put the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many and
like tags
details
and packaging. It's just like, I don't know. There's just a lot of different.
But
variables.
you don't really learn it unless you're in it. You can't possibly learn all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could read about it, but unless you're in it doing it, it's just, that's the best way to learn, which is what I love about Charlie. He's Jen's son. He's just like, he'll just go in and do it.
Yeah. So
I like to build the plane on the way down.
Which is how you
is what I like to say.
Oh yeah. Build a plane on the way down.
Yeah. As you fall.
Yeah.
And then
That's
you kind of piece it together, and then hopefully you don't, you know.
Yeah, that's totally
like
true.
That. No, that's something smart. Mostly if you're going to be in product development or design anything, like I was just telling you on the way here, like just managing creative humans is real fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because like everybody's just, there's so many highs and lows, and you know, not everybody's design is going to be loved, and they love it, right? And it's like, it's their piece of art and it's their passion. And
it's hard to tell someone their baby's ugly.
Yeah. Right.
I have to do it all the time though.
Like maybe when your baby gets a little older, gets a little chubbier.
Yeah, after they've what did you say? After they get a little older, what?
And chubbier.
Grow into their body.
Okay.
Like,
sure.
Yeah.
Until you have like 10,000 units sitting in a warehouse that won't sell.
Right.
So you'd rather learn about the baby as soon as they pop out. Just no, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
But I like, I don't know. I love our team though, because like
we have the best team.
They'll come and they'll say, you know, okay, maybe I was being a little ornery about that design, a little touchy about that. You know, I went and spoke to so-and-so. Like Mike sent me like a video the other day, you know, like on the DMs, like it was a video of like Steve Jobs, and he was saying like, no matter what, I'm sure you saw that, right? No matter what, like if you have a good internal team, like your product is like, it doesn't matter what the bottom line is, because your bottom line will end up good. Because you have this amazing team doing amazing things.
Agreed.
You know? Yeah. I don't know. That really, I was like, I needed
That's
that.
so true.
Because,
and we've been very intentional about who we have brought into our team. Like we have so many people reaching out. People love this game, and people want to be a part of the industry. And the golf industry is maybe the coolest industry to be a part of, because it is like, everyone knows each other. It's such a cool atmosphere. So we have so many people reaching out to us all the time wanting to work for us. And we have just been incredibly picky about the energy people have and what they'll add to the rest of the energy that we've already created. And that's one thing that I am so proud of, that we can look at our team and be like, every single person here adds so much to not only like what we're doing, but to each other. And that camaraderie has been so beautiful to watch.
Yeah, you have to make sure everybody passes the vibe check.
Totally.
It's totally crucial. Yeah, culture is like one of the biggest parts about this company.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's especially
so
challenging in China. Let me mute my phone. In China, because the culture there is so different. And I don't want that company to be like that side of my business who ran like a Chinese company culturally, right? Because it's very like dictatorship style. And so a lot of the time when I'm over there and working with my team members over there, I train them to like speak about your feelings. Oh, you're having a hard time?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Don't be afraid to talk about it.
That's so nice.
Which is what happens.
They probably really appreciate that.
Oh, I've had very good retention. Like most people in like Chinese companies, they have turnover like crazy. But over there, it's been, we rarely have people leave. And it's because of like, you know, like last year I was messaging them, and I do like my rounds where I talk to each one of them individually over time and just like, hey, how's it going? What's been going on? What are your challenges? And a couple of them mentioned like, oh, our office is kind of small. It's like, oh, there's stuff everywhere because it's like a prototype. There's like, or there's product everywhere. There's samples. There's I'm sure what
Living
it looks like,
well, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's just stuff everywhere, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. So it's like, okay, find a new building. Let's find a new spot that's bigger. Let's expand and grow space and stuff. And when I went to visit last time, I didn't realize how impactful that was for the people that like had their areas, they had space, they had storage that was out of the way.
That's so
and
cool.
like everybody was thanking me for it.
Good for you.
And that was just such an easy, tiny little thing, but no one was like, everybody would be afraid to speak about it.
Yeah.
So it's like crucial.
That's cool.
If you look at your business like a people business versus a product business, it will change how you scale your business.
That's so true.
I mean, sure, the product's important. Don't get me wrong. But if the culture, the team that you build and how you treat them and how you scale them and, educate them and, shape things right is important. But also for you all built like a huge community.
Yeah.
So talk about the community that you built, because you go to these events all over the country and in Canada and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's part of it too, right?
That's a big part of it.
I mean, Michelle is kind of, Michelle had already been building, a full community. I mean, Michelle already had a big fanship, like followership.
How did you get popular?
Well, when I was on The Bachelor, a few of the Bachelor shows, but by the time
a few of them.
Well, so I was on The Bachelor.
I know
this is very
serious.
Okay, so I was on The Bachelor, and then I was on Bachelor Pad. But then and then I did Bachelor in Paradise. But when Bachelor in Paradise was airing, that's kind of when Instagram took off.
Okay.
And so like the timing,
2011 or so. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the timing. Well, no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So then, so the timing of all that was like, I didn't really have to work for it. It was just crazy.
I mean,
people love the show. People love it. Well, and it's like, yeah. So, but then I built a community called the Money Method, where I helped women with their confidence, and I helped teach them how to like master their money look with their makeup, because I had so many people asking me about my confidence, where that stemmed from. And then so many people asked me about my makeup. So I turned it into like one course that was combined. And it just kind of blew up. And it was one of the most incredible things I've ever done. So I had built a very intentional community within this, kind of the social media world that really taught me a lot about the importance of authenticity, the importance of, community and being real and honest and having integrity in everything you do. And so that was this incredible group that still, exists obviously to this day, but it taught me a lot about, and then starting a brand, it's like, you realize how important the community part of that is. Yeah. And Jen has done the same thing with her brand. She built a huge community with Color by Amber.
Yeah. And what did you do before?
Yeah. So I started, that's how we met. I was her fashion stylist.
Okay.
And so, I did a lot of things with fashion and clothing, wardrobe on movie sets and commercials, and then went into retail, started my own company. Anyways.
So you had a lot of operational experience.
Yeah. And then I actually took a job down the street. It was like my first, after I sold my two first storefronts, I had one downtown and then one in South Jordan. And then my boys were just like really busy. So I'm like, okay, I got to sell this. And, but I was still kind of the breadwinner of the home. So I got a consulting job, and it was actually just down the street. But yeah, it turned into like more product development and sales. And then it was corporate. So, but it was still at startup stage. So it was kind of fun. Anyways, so I started doing that, and that lasted for like 13 years and learned a ton. And I built a community through that as well. Like basically going around Canada and the US and teaching women how to like style and sell jewelry. Basically, I was just like the So anyways,
a good mix of experience.
Yeah.
Okay. So then powers combined. When did that happen?
Yeah. Powers combined. Yeah.
It's like the Power
Michelle,
Rangers.
of course, was like, doing her thing. And like, I always like, would like text her, say hello. We'd do birthdays, phone calls, like that type of thing. But it wasn't like I was really busy and she was really busy. And then I was doing, after 2020, I had a company called The Gift Box, as online subscription company and jewelry. And like I had just started it a year before that. And so the first thing people did was like cancel like unwanted like necessity things, which would be like your subscription, which I love subscription models, but anyways, doesn't matter. So I started taking on side jobs and like consulting, and I took on this app and was building this app thing with this BYU student. And anyways, long story short, something with business and the golf day. I will just leave it at that. And
I think you should talk about that.
Well, yeah, no, I was just like, why didn't I be a part of this conversation? And
they did. They golfed and left you out of it.
Yeah. And
were you golfing it? Were you starting to golf?
No.
That drove you to want to golf?
Huh?
Did that like drive you to want to golf?
100%.
Yeah.
When that stuff happens, I'm fair. Like very driven by like kind of like I'll just learn anything. Yeah. Like you just, and it's like, don't lead me off a conversation and say you have to golf. Like I grew up with all boys. Like I raised a lot of boys and like, I can play with the boys. Like I don't need to be left off a conversation anyways. I knew Michelle was dating Mike. And so I was like, Michelle, I am not going through this again. Like, let's go learn how to golf. And she's like, yeah, babe. So that's how we.
So it started golfing. Yeah. I interviewed a woman on Friday. And she is Korean and she is like a champion golfer.
Really?
And she said that she used to like play, she would go to China a lot and she used to play like dumb and go to the golf course with like the Laobans and the bosses.
Yeah.
And just whoop their asses.
Oh, that's like every girl's dream.
And negotiate their pricing and stuff. And
that would be so epic.
Dang it. I got to learn how to
I thought it was awesome.
All of this, No,
most of us are terrible. I'm terrible at golf.
Oh, yeah.
You're not.
You totally take money from me.
It's a hard game, man.
It's so hard.
It's a hard game.
I know. It's like we started learning and like, because everyone's always like we show up with these branded bags and we have these cute clothes and everything. So we're like these legit players. And I'm like, please do not be fooled by this.
Do not be fooled.
Like we might have the good gear.
We might look really good.
Yeah, but
we're not hitting the ball really good.
That's part of golf too, feeling 100% good walking to the course in the morning.
And that's exactly what drives us is we know that as women, when we show up anywhere to any space, feeling confident in our outfit, in the way we look, in our, we will light up the whole room. And it's the same thing with golf. When you feel confident in your outfit, you play better golf, you have a better experience, you feel like it's just a feeling. And we know with our background and what we've both done individually, how important that element of like being a woman is.
Yeah.
And so that's what we love to offer to our audience is the ability to like step onto the golf course and feel confident and sexy and hip and like in style so that you can go and just have a good time.
Yeah. So my wife went to your first event at Thanksgiving Point. Was that your first event then?
Yeah.
That was like the launch.
Yeah.
She still wears her sweatpants and her sweatshirt all the time.
Oh my gosh, I love it. We need to upgrade her. We need to upgrade her.
It looks nice. Like it's it looks like good material and it's like washed well over time.
Yeah.
And she's comfy in it. So she was just getting like I started golfing, like I golfed as a kid a little bit and then I started golfing again during COVID, as like a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And she had heard about the event and I was like, you should go. Like, why not just go check it out? Like, you want to go, you might as well, going with me might not be as fun versus going to meet people that are also trying to learn to golf for the first time, So I brought her there and I hung out and went to the range and waited.
No way.
And then the rain came and it was like chaos.
That's the worst.
It was a bummer, but
our first event ever and there's a freaking first time tornado.
It was a nasty storm. It was nasty.
Like, we had to go back to Thanksgiving Point the next day and like pick up cushions and pillows that were like all the way down. It was like how
so much money on all
she loved it though. She like
everyone
left out.
had
She was
such
very
a good
excited
time
about it. And then we went and played golf like soon after that. So she like inspired
I love that.
her. And then but before that, the biggest thing was like she wanted to find a cute golf outfit, and that was like I think that gave her the confidence too. Where she was like, okay, I love this shirt. Yeah, I got a nice skirt. I picked out some sweet golf shoes. Yeah, like I'm gonna go do this.
Girls like that. I mean,
it's such a fun part of it.
You know, it doesn't matter. I mean, I feel like guys like that too.
Oh, definitely,
like,
definitely.
I think it's just part of the experience. But I think that women have never really even had the chance to understand like what that really even means. Like it's almost like that's what we were like always talking about. It's just like the transparency. Like if women could just come to the golf course, even if they said, you know what, I never want to play golf. That's fair. That's fine. Like we're all for you. That's why our tagline is golfing is optional. So it's golfing optional. But it's because we like really wanted to just get women to come out and just see what it was all about. They didn't have to golf. There's no pressure. They could come and have a beverage and like a snack.
Driving the golf cart is like
it's fun.
One of the biggest appeals to like a lot of women. Like, let me just drive the cart and refill your drinks. Yeah, you know, it's like please come.
Or two, right?
Yeah.
You know what transfusions are?
Yeah,
my favorite.
Absolutely,
100%. Yeah. And that's why we're like, fair enough. Like, let's just make this for every single, for all, right? Yeah. For every single person, whether you want to become a good player now or not, right? Because everybody's stage of life is different, you know, but seeing that like some of the best advice from these women we go like play with, like those Florida women.
Oh yeah, they were so great.
We get invited to a lot of tournaments and these women were like, I don't know, what would you say? Like
they were like
70?
Like some of them were like 65. Early 70s and a lot of them I would say is like mid 60s.
Yeah, and they were so cool and they were like, the one thing I would say to your younger community would be like, don't wait. Start now.
Yeah.
Because
you always regret not starting earlier.
Yeah.
Right?
Because once you start, you see why people are so passionate about it. It's such a fun sport. So
all you need is like one good shot per day.
That's it.
And then it's like, all right, I'm good. I'll be there tomorrow.
And then you're like, wait, how did I do that?
Yeah.
And then you're like,
the problem I think too is like most women have been that haven't been introduced to the game at all have such a like skewed vision of what that is. And, our tagline is golfing optional, but we're pretty confident that once we get you to one of our events and at least like you'll see how much fun it actually is. Like the intimidation factor and I think that was one of the biggest things for me is I've always seen Mike play golf. I've just kind of and gone to these professional tournaments and you see these golfers who are amazing and they make it look so easy. Yeah. And then I'll never forget, I went and watched one of the pro-ams that he was playing in and I could not believe how bad these guys were. Like it blew my mind because in my head I was like, why are these guys like, I mean, they were terrible golfers. Oh, no. Really bad.
But they were still playing.
But it was so refreshing for me. Yeah. Because it was like, oh,
that was, you know what?
That is not how golf, this, like what we see on TV.
It relieves the pressure.
Yeah. Like the percentage of people who play that well is so small. Yeah. And so to understand that the majority of people playing golf are really not good. Just takes a whole lot of pressure off of us. And so that's what actually got me even interested in playing. Because the few times I dabbled in it, I was like, I'm not good at this. So, and that's what we're kind of trying to help women understand is that, it's not about like playing a perfect game. It's just getting out there and trying and learning something along the way and just enjoying like your friends and your family and being outside. There's so many elements to it.
Yeah, you don't really remember the scores as much as like the time spent in the cart. And,
we were just talking about this the other day. We were like, remember that summer? It was summer night. It was last year. We were playing at Hidden Valley and that song was playing and it was like the sun was going down and
vibes.
I'll never forget it. It was like
that's great.
Moments like
I
that.
Agree.
And we probably, I don't even know how we played that day.
We don't even remember what our score was.
We had so much fun.
But we did some deep lunges.
We did deep lunges.
And
You're right.
got some great content.
Yeah, we videoed ourselves being kind of ridiculous, but
I probably watched some and liked it, I'm sure.
You probably did.
Thanks for being a big supporter, by the way.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's
great
so
content.
Nice.
Yeah, you've been
Thank you.
Cool. Like
that's so nice.
I feel like we met you in the beginning and you've just been like really supportive. And I think
I follow and support a lot of brands because I know how hard it is.
Thank you.
It's so hard.
It's so hard.
You know, but when you see that everybody grinding it out, there's no option but to like support.
It's so true.
It's so
and if they're not supporting, then fuck them.
And that's how we feel.
They're not the people
That's how we feel.
Anyways.
Exactly. And that's how we feel about other women in the industry doing apparel, right? Like there is plenty of room for all of us.
There's so many different styles and directions they can take it. There's a lot of like really techie stuff and whatnot. There's like, you know, more casual stuff.
There's like more like, you know, very like, I don't know, Southern-esque, like florals and like just like in a different type of way, right? Like really like girly. And then there's, like those, you know, like more like, I always say like, it reminds me of like driving a race car or whatever, you know, like very, I don't know.
Techie, sporty.
Sporty. And so it's like
Titleist stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like it's very sporty.
Yeah. And there's like, you know, and then like, you know, you got like the Bad Birdie or whatever. And they've always had like the bright prints or whatever.
Fun.
You know, everybody has their own thing. And like Michelle said, like it is more about like collaboration over competition. And that's how I've always thought, oh, that's how you get going, you know, like really, truly. And if people aren't going to be in your circle, Michelle and I were like, okay.
Yeah, they're good. Let them go.
No
no
biggie.
Of people that left my circle and I'm okay with it. Yeah.
When we play with new golfers, like we'll try to intentionally not play well because it takes I know I do because I like what it did for me. It like totally opened up my world to see like, oh, people aren't playing this game like Mike Weir plays this game. Yeah. You know, so it's like
your
now like I intentionally try to like help people feel more at ease, you know, but it is powerful. And I don't know why this is with women. I think that we tend to like overthink things and we have a certain way that we like to show up and we have to like know all the things. And Jen's unique. She's not really like that.
Well,
no, in a really good.
No, that's great.
Like, no, and what is that? It's why you're so amazing.
You just go for
it's
it,
literally why she's so successful.
Yeah.
It's why she's so successful. Yeah. But like, she will just get out there and do it. So she doesn't understand. But like, there's so many women who are just like I don't want to mess up. I don't want to make a fool of myself. And it's like, no, you got to let that go.
Dudes are the same way though.
Are they?
Oh, definitely.
But maybe they don't talk about it.
Yeah, that's probably true, huh?
Yeah, so they'll keep it to themselves and they just won't go.
That's true.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or they won't go with that like person or that group or whatever.
Yeah. Back to the product stuff. Because I know, because I could talk about emotional health or mental health all day.
Totally.
But I am curious about the thing that I don't have to deal with is sizing and fit. Yeah. How do you deal with that?
Oh,
do you have like a bunch of people that you test fit on and then you just send prototypes to? And like, where is it tight? Where is it loose?
No. I think that...
How does it feel when it rubs against your inner thighs or whatever,
you know what's
right?
so funny is we did not do... We had like grading, like we had our grading, right? It was like based off of like, we started with a small body size, you know, like I'm like a medium. So like I would try it on or whatever, but we never got past our XL, but we were very passionate about having not only XL, but XXL. So that has never really, like, in fact, we got pushback from our retailers a ton. Like they were just like, no. And we're like, just please try it. Because if we really want to grow this game, we got to make it more accessible for people. Right. And so, but luckily, we kind of hit the mark in the sense of there were some women who were an XXL and we didn't try it on them, but they, you know, saw us, went into a store down in, you know, Arizona, did a full-on reel. Like it could have ended up bad for us, but it's only ended up really good.
And it was comfortable and it fit well.
Yeah, they were like saying like with their shit, like they're like chafing has not, that's been an issue for them. And they're like, not with your shorties because like they have little grippies on the back side. And they're like, they stay down. So the chafing is like less.
They don't like ride up.
Yeah. And so they say they're super comfortable, but they're not too tight where like sometimes they said like the grippies can be like, you know, and the elastic can be too tight on their legs. So they're like, it's a perfect balance. And I'm like, that I'll have to say, there's always like, they say in golf too, there's always a little bit of luck.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever you say that to, I mean, because there's like, that could be a whole nother discussion.
No, I agree.
But in that sense, like, I'm going to be fully transparent. Like, that's really how it worked out for us.
You got lucky.
We were passionate about growing the size runs for these women and making it accessible in mass retail stores across the nation.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got lucky enough to be able to do that. And I actually think that probably had good energy on our side or something with that, because the fact that we were taking that risk and add all the pushback that we were getting from our head buyers and these people that we really had no long-term relationship with, we had just met, and we're like, trust us. And they're like, why? And we're like, because we want you to.
Well, think about
because we're cute.
Because I've always like fluctuated with my weight, and I hate shopping because of it. I feel where it's like you try something on and it fits, and then like you change. Like my cortisol levels increase and my body changes a little bit, and then that doesn't fit anymore. And then I'm like, and then I go to a store and I try stuff on and it doesn't fit well, and I'm discouraged to go back to that store, or I'm discouraged because of those brands and I don't like those brands anymore.
Yeah.
So if Fore All is the brand that they go to the store and they find something that works for them, they'll forever be loyal.
Yeah.
And if
that's true.
the retailers aren't letting you have that opportunity available for your customers, then
they are. We fought for it.
That's great. That's like valuable, and I feel like that's something that's even marketable.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times
for their stores.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
because these big retailers, I mean, they have people pounding at their doors, so it's not like something that we're like. But we basically were like, look, like try these size runs. Like they have to have like a full size run pack. Like they have to buy it in the pack.
Mm-hmm.
And they really didn't have to. We just were like basically begging them to, because like with my product background, I felt like that was easier to bring in these pre-packs.
Yeah.
Right? As a retailer.
It's better for SKU management and all that. Yeah.
Right. And so not only did it actually help kind of get, and we still are kind of in that like, zone where we're testing out the market with the sizing. Obviously, it's not going to be like tomorrow that everybody who's XL or XXL are going to be like, they're going to know. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to keep pushing that. But that's why we're like, look, give us some runway to allow us to push these different sizes and just see. Right. And so,
it worked out.
It worked out for
them.
So
then how have the reorders been then for them?
So that's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
I didn't think we were going to run out so fast.
That's fantastic.
I know. Yeah. It's a good thing to have, but now I'm like, we were just talking about it. They're like, these our Bronson pant is like our number one seller.
Okay.
And it's, I don't think.
Are they up there?
No, it's like checkered.
Here, pull up their product page. Yeah.
And they're like, so it's our fabric we call Fore All, or excuse me, Fore Flow. Yeah, right there.
So is that
Yeah. So here they
all
are.
Have the checkered pattern,
they're at a $99 price point. So $99.99, which is like right under $100. It's like a very sweet spot. But the thing that they're loving, I believe, the most is instantly they love the checkered, right? Like it's not like we invented checkered, right?
Mm-hmm.
So but it's the way that the fabric feels when you put them on that I believe is a combination. I think that the design is there. We nailed it on that. I think the price point, nailed it on that. I also think that when they get them, they're like, wait a minute. They tell all their friends because they put them on. They're posting on them on a deck, drinking coffee in the morning. They're posting them as they're hitting out of a stand.
In Disneyland, they're posting them in Hawaii. We have so many people.
So it's like a very versatile pant that is incredibly comfortable, but yet they feel like they can go golf in them too as well. And they have our branding ribbon down the side. And that's another thing we wanted to do with our product. It's actually Michelle's idea, but it was incredibly brilliant. And it's just like a mark that all of our pieces will have. So like, no matter who's wearing what, like.
Am I wearing a sample? Oh no, it's right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll find this little
ribbon
branding mark on all of our pieces, even our like down to our like socks.
Yeah. I like golf apparel that is, I go comfort over like looks mostly.
Yeah.
Where I have like swimming trunks that look like khakis.
Okay.
And I like wear those.
That's cute.
Because like the waist is elastic and it's like comfortable.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's how I roll. I think it's the way to go.
There is nothing worse than being uncomfortable.
I look at pro golfers and what they're wearing. I'm like, how the hell are you wearing that?
Yeah.
You're wearing like khakis?
Yeah.
I know.
You know? Can you like bend over and pick up your tee?
In that situation.
Yeah. We're actually going to develop a men's line.
Oh, I'll wear it.
So I'd love to get your feedback.
Yeah, you should come play another product about you and Austin.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Come and, you know.
You met with Eric Henders-Lang, right?
Yeah, why do I know that name?
You met him at the PGA show.
Oh, yeah.
You had dinner with him? The random golf club guy?
Yeah.
You had a crush on him?
Let's not air that part.
Wait, who?
I'm an investor in them.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It's Eric.
Oh, Eric? Oh.
Yeah.
I like the vibe they put off. They put like really comfortable, chill apparel and looks and stuff.
Yeah. You know? I know that they were like, they download like in the whole, apparel stuff and but their community is like super dialed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a cool brand, and Austin's the one who told me about it, and I went and watched them.
Yeah.
They've really done a great job at really cultivating like all the addicts together in one spot, right?
Well, it's a good variety of different types of people too. It's not like all the, normal golfers.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be considered a normal golfer. I was like a little punk boy growing up.
Really?
So I didn't fit in with golfers.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either. I was like a hippie on the beach that went to school. Yeah. In 501 jeans.
But it's changing. It's evolving.
Yeah, it is.
No, it really is. And I think that that's the coolest part about it. And the more we keep all like, showcasing our experiences and how we can like just be the regular, businesswoman, mom, whoever, it doesn't matter. All walks of life. It can be like, my daughter's playing, she's 16, all the way up to these women that we're playing with in Florida.
Yeah.
It really does bring people together. It brings families together. It brings relationships together.
What catastrophes have you dealt with? You know what I mean? Like, you get a whole batch of product that's bad, like stuff like that.
You tell them, Michelle.
Yeah, what happened? What's like the biggest learning lesson that's happened so far?
Well, this is one of them. This is the biggest catastrophe, I think, to date.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. But we had...
there's always more. But
we had just kind of signed our partnership with Worldwide Golf, and we really wanted to put out like a holiday collection. Our sweats, like that your wife bought, like just sold out. We couldn't keep them in stock. So we're like, we really want to do our own like cut and sew, like where we pick the fabric, we pick it all out and design like a sweatsuit. And so... we'd put so much thought into it all and like taking kind of the elements that we knew people loved and put it into this design, and we had it tucked out and we had the fabric and all these, and so we were planning on doing 2 colors. And when we went to go pick up the product, we happened to have been in LA.
Yeah, we were at like an event
and they had taken forever to get product. And we finally were like, well, can we just come get it? Anyway, they ended up doing 4 colors. And
it was 5.
Oh, it was 5.
Yeah.
It was 5 colors.
Because we were wanting green and cream, which is like our kind of base. And they did every Pantone in our branding.
And
Pantone.
And we were just like mortified because we just signed on with our business partners, and then the sizing was just...
Was this with a Chinese supplier?
No.
This was in Los Angeles. We're like, you know what? We'll do a holiday launch. Will be like
made in LA, all this stuff. And this guy was a clown. He was a circus clown that posed as a manufacturer. You cannot make this stuff up. You're just like, the way he tried to like skirt around his problem, like the way he messed up, and the pricing was wrong. Everything was wrong. Like
the fabric
was totally
full on.
The fabric was wrong too. Like the actual,
we did a terry cloth.
Yeah, no, we didn't do a terry.
Yeah,
we did a blend of some sort
or something like that. But all I know is that it was wrong.
It was wrong. Everything about it.
It came like a fleece.
So you showed up to get this, and then what happened?
And
and you're waiting to deliver to
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are there so many colors?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, why are there so many colors?
And did you submitted a PO?
Yeah.
Oh,
and the PO had 2 colors and sizes all color or counted out?
Yeah. And the way that he had explained, like, it was just, again, a circus clown. You're dealing with like.
Yeah. He just wanted to get creative on your PO.
No.
So bad.
No, and the best part was like him just trying to be like, no, you told me. You told me.
Yeah, this is what you told us.
I mean, like literally
and then
hours.
He's like, no, this fabric is better. This is a better
He's
fabric.
trying to tell us,
and you're like,
better fabric.
No, this isn't the fabric we wanted, but this is better. This fabric's better.
And then he made it based off of like men, like it was like a men's jogger.
Yeah.
And so all of our measurements were wrong. So the fabric was wrong. The colors were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And half
the
of them were missing like labels when they came.
Yeah.
Like our Fore All labels weren't in there. Also, and then just like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.
I mean, we kept telling ourselves like it could have been worse. It could have been worse. Like it could have been like not our Pantone colors. At least they were like, we kept trying to tell ourselves like
positive,
which is true. But we learned a lot. And that is like to Jen's point earlier, like that is how you learn, is through failure. And we were so grateful to have learned those lessons like with like a smaller order before these like big POs that we were putting in. And even then, like, for example, there's some of our pieces that we launched for spring that I don't think we got the sizing right. Like I think we sized it too big. Like some of our skirts, I think we need to size them down. Like a true extra small wasn't really fitting like a true extra small. And these are the things we're learning from the feedback we're getting. And just, I mean, I do think like speaking to like, the double extra large, that range, like large to double extra large, I do think we should be using a fit model who is that size. I think we can do a better job.
Or should you use many fit models, right? With your community, I'm sure you can get together like 100 people that are all different sizes and spectrums.
Well, and when I say fit model, fit model, like, like when you're actually sizing to that person, like they come to like,
and that's your starting point.
And that's, we're basing the whole sizing thing. Yeah. Because I think we've done a good job with like our models.
So then what happened with these pants and stuff?
And we just.
You accepted them?
Well, he made a few changes, but then, for the most part, we had to just like,
So you accepted them, you sold through them?
And they.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly,
so you didn't lose a bunch of money?
And nobody else would know.
Sure.
They were the things that
but
like...
it was your first foot in the door with this, and it bugged you.
Yeah.
But were they upset? Was the retailer upset, or were they... it worked out?
They didn't really know much about it.
They didn't really know either.
That's awesome.
I was super transparent, but...
We did put his face on a dartboard.
Okay.
In our office.
Yeah.
And just when we're mad, we just like...
So that's the best problem ever, because you'll never make the mistake again. But but in the moment, that's terrifying, right?
It was terrifying.
Your stomach drops.
Yeah.
And you're hyperventilating. I know that feeling.
Yeah. I would go home and like after a big day and just go into my bathroom and sit on the floor.
Yeah.
And just like cry, not move.
It's
like
hard.
I literally, that's what I do.
Feeling.
It's like I go into the like that's how I deal with all of my fires every day. I'll just go home.
You are like that's like so cliche, but you really are like a bathroom floor crier. Like the books and movies.
Gosh.
Like I've never cried on my bathroom floor, I don't think. Well, like if you're gonna cry on the floor, like go get in bed.
You have to hide.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
I don't want like your mom. Like, I'm like the only parent in the house. They would like find.
Well, you can lock your bedroom door.
Yeah, but everyone tries to come in.
That's too obvious.
Okay. It's like if I'm
like you need another door to separate you.
Taco Bell for lunch.
Yeah, it's like if you're in the bathroom, your kids leave you alone for the most part. I know probably every mom's be like, not mine, but like mine are a bit older, and so
stomach's bothering me. I'm gonna go upstars. Don't bother me.
Yeah, like maybe mom's doing a face mask. We don't know.
Yeah, sure.
But
bath time.
what's so funny is all the time I'm like, you get your ass up because you need a better bathroom. That's literally what I think about. Like I have no tile. I have this like old, like it's like, and it sounds so horrible, but my house is only like 22 years old, but like my trim's falling off in the bathroom. The bathroom is like something I haven't ever updated. And so I always think that I'll be like laying down. I'm like, this is the ugliest linoleum. How do you spell it? Or how do you say it? Linoleum.
Linoleum, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, this is so
that's
ugly.
that's your motivation.
That's my motivation.
I like it.
Yeah,
That's
like if
great.
I'm crying, and I'm upset, I'm like, who has chances like this? Get your ass up. Like, you gotta have a master bathroom one day, like a separate tub.
There you go.
Yeah,
like a soaking tub.
You're well on your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be green.
Yeah.
With gold feet.
Yeah.
Like a little checkered bathroom tile.
Cute.
Yeah. So then what's next for Fore All?
It's a good question.
Any, secret teasers you can tease out?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, we have
some partnerships coming up.
Some really cool collaborations that we're doing. We have really cool partners that we are like launching a golf club with some big like influencers and golfers. We are going to be at the President's Cup in 2024.
Cool.
Fore All will be...
we're making a lot of stuff for the President's Cup, so everybody come.
Yeah.
Get your tickets. Montreal.
Yeah, we're really excited about that.
A lot in Canada.
Yeah, that's when we'll be doing
cool.
like some, men's stuff. Too.
Yeah, we're going to launch a little small men's line for...
And make like some comfy shorts.
Yeah, I know.
I like
have to get
the shorts.
We'll pick your brain about that.
I like a chill, comfy short that has good pockets that your stuff doesn't fall out when you're sitting in a golf cart.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Do you know Ghost Golf?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're doing a really cool collab with them in August.
Cool.
So, and then, do you know Pinned?
Pinned?
Rangefinder.
Okay. Yeah. Well, didn't you already do that?
No, we haven't launched it.
Well, I saw your video of you using them. You were testing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were testing them, seeing what the pattern and all the printing on it.
Do you like a custom design one?
Yeah, it's really cute.
And you do like bulk deals where you wholesale it pretty much?
Yeah.
And sell from your platform pretty much?
Yeah, we're going to be doing collaboration, and then our retailers will give them the option to carry it or not.
That's cool.
Yeah. So those are some fun ones. And then we have some really cool merch tents that our stuff is being brought up into for what is that one we're going to?
Sanford
International.
Invitational or Invitational. International, Sanford International.
Yeah, we gotta get. And then
we're speaking at some events. The other thing we have is really cool, like this green jacket.
Mm-hmm.
When you purchase this green jacket, you become a member of our Green Jacket Club.
That's
and
cool.
We do exclusive events. We're going to do a green jacket dinner just for the people who own the jacket.
Okay.
We have a private Instagram for them, so we give them sneak peeks. They already know what some of our fall looks like.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also for the dinner, Michelle was talking about, we've been really trying to be super intentional about this. Just not overthink it too much, but just make it a really fun dinner. And it's optional. And we'll send out invites, right? And so they'll have the opportunity to come, to wherever we are. We'll probably make it a weekend thing or an overnight thing. And then they'll have the opportunity to kind of help us problem solve with some of our products, our marketing, all that stuff, not act, they're not a board, but kind of act as a little bit of a board.
Like a founders club.
Community driven.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So when we see people come in those jackets, we were just in Canada at an event.
Gosh, it's
and some woman walked in it, and we ran over to her.
She looks like a boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
right?
You're one of us.
Yeah.
It's part of a club.
Part of a club.
So that's kind of fun to wrap an experience around one product. Yeah.
I think the Fore All Club's probably more fun, to be honest. I bet that
way
other
less
club
dramatic.
is just a little, a little high pressure.
Everyone
Who
feels
picks
safe.
the menu for the dinner, right?
I know. Well, we've got to think through all that
I'm
stuff.
not allowed to pick any
Do you do a tournament or no?
I don't
no
know.
Competition.
We might not even, we'll see.
Maybe do a raffle winner where the raffle winner gets to pick the menu.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Part of the vibe, right? For the whole
totally.
Masters dinner. That's cool.
Yeah, there's so many fun things that we're excited to do. The biggest thing that we've had to really work through, though, is getting these just systems in place for continuing to design and develop and produce and distribute our products. So
that's the hard part.
Now that we're getting these kind of
operations?
systems, operations has been so
Who's
tricky.
Your director of operations?
His name's Jace.
Oh, you have one.
Yeah, he's young.
Fantastic.
He's young and he's
willing to learn.
Has he managed hundreds of SKUs before?
No. No. But he's driven a
He's
tractor.
really good at it.
Okay. All right.
And he can repair that
And
tractor.
you can also forklift like anything off of a really tall warehouse. No, he's really smart. And he's somebody who has really spent a lot of late nights figuring out. So our warehouse is just down the street here. Now we got a new warehouse. Gosh, I was really nervous about that. But he really works hard at working with our like retailer SPS, our software people, then our actual the people that we share the warehouse with. They've got warehouses in Toronto, here, and in Kansas.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
So you eliminate all the shipping zones and everything.
Yeah, and they're super great. And so he's been working with them, and they've been teaching him. And
who does the ordering though?
what do you mean?
Like who's setting how many items you're ordering so you don't stock out and you're not overstocked?
It's basically me.
That's the hardest part, I feel like, right?
Yeah, but
You've done that at your retail store.
I've already done that.
Yeah,
so,
that's good.
But my goal would not to be doing this forever.
Right.
So that's why, hence her saying like process is trying to take all of this in here and really just divvy it out to make sure everybody kind of has this more leadership role.
So that's where it's like, I always use the analogy that a CEO is like an octopus.
Yeah.
And you start with 8 arms and you have to figure out what arm you're going to keep as you cut one off at a time as you replace yourself.
That's a great.
So what are the arms you're cutting off right now?
Gosh.
Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. So like you're like an octopus. Do octopuses only have 8?
Yeah.
They only have 8?
So think about like you have like branding, you have product, you have marketing, you have sales and distribution, you have operations and inventory management, you have,
Yeah, basically.
And you're trying to cut. Yeah.
And you can't do them all.
I'd really like to cut off the marketing one. That's my next
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because like
we're working on that.
Because you're traveling a bunch and that's hard to work and travel.
I'm exhausted. I'm still like
Trips are so exhausting.
I'm doing a lot. But again, Michael, I cut the arm off with the product. I did really well at that.
That's good.
You know, like at first, but now Mikkel and Taylor, they're just like power team, and then Austin comes in as product. That I've cut off. I think that our processes are getting refined. I mean, they have to keep growing.
It always takes time, and it's always getting better. Yeah.
And I think like the next would be the social media and the marketing.
No, you'll never let go of social media.
I love social media because it's my connection to the consumer.
Right?
Yeah,
So when I message, I just make sure it's you and it's not some random person.
Austin will be in there sometimes. And Michelle,
I'll get in there.
But
cool.
I get in there.
Do you?
Yeah, but I get afraid to respond to things because
you want to double communicate.
I don't want to. Yeah. But I'll go. I'm in there. I just don't always respond like you do.
So then last things, what are some takeaway field notes that you would leave for other entrepreneurs?
Maybe I have one.
Yeah.
And Jen has just been the best example of this. And I would never really be able to like even communicate this without having like seen it and witnessed it with my own eyes. But like, don't let perfect get in the way of good. And I've always had this tendency to like, things have to be perfect and look perfect. And like, before we can do anything. And like Jen has been so good at just pushing through, like where I would never have pushed through. She's just like pushing.
Failure to launch is what happens,
right? And that is one thing that's the biggest thing that has really...
That's hard to learn as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. It's just like...
My wife was that way, and I was the one that was like, Kels, it'll work. I promise you. Like, it'll be fine. Let's just get it going.
Yeah.
Like, it'll work, and I promise you.
Moving. Keep moving. And she is like, the engine that is just head down, just focus, going and doing all these things where my head's up here going, okay, so we got to be careful for that, and we got to be careful about that. And so we really do...
that's a good
because
balance.
She would just stay head down all the time. And like when she comes up for air, she barely has air. She's just like, okay. And I'm up here going like, babe, like
she sets me straight.
Yeah. You know,
really
so it's really great to have a co-founder who has all of the elements that like I lack and is so good at them. And it helps me to see things more clearly and to understand the importance and value of not letting perfect get in the way of good.
That's great.
That's a good one.
That would be mine.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously echo Michelle, but obviously my brain is different. So like, I think for me, it would be, don't like allow yourself to get distracted by the noise of what is out there, because there's so much going on, like with AI and this company doing this and this company doing this. And I think as like founders, it's easy to kind of like, okay, what is, G4 or Jay Lindbergh or all these other people, what are they doing? I think that if you truly can set your like anchor into the ground and literally by no means like allow your mission or like why you do things to really kind of uproot and leave, you will always find an answer, even if you're crying on your bathroom floor or you're feeling like you're letting your entire, team down because maybe you didn't have the right process in at first or whatever it may be. Like it will constantly bring you back. Okay, let's set myself back up straight. Why did Michelle and I start this company? Don't worry about like the most fanciest tech fabric that you want to get. Like, remember, these girls are going to come no matter what because they love like your videos and the way that you guys make them feel when they come and, say hello and that's why. And I think that it seems so cliche because like, I remember always wanting to be this like, entrepreneur my whole life. And I would read and study entrepreneurs and they're always like the why, it's like Simon was like the why. I hate that. But I would say, think about it as like an anchor to remember why you keep getting up every single day. And another thing is when you don't want to get up or you're feeling like if you push through that, no matter what, like, I don't want to go work out. I don't want to go like try to do this. Just do it. It doesn't have to freaking be this like perfect. I have my entire Notion all set up. I have my entire, Slack line developed before my team comes and sits down. It's like your team, they're going to watch you also like learn through things. And the more they can see that, the more they're going to be motivated to do it. I think of like just being a mom and what my kids are older now and what they've said about me, what they didn't say when they were younger, was like, you always got up and worked, or you always were trying new things. You were always the one that, was getting made fun of friends because you tried to like fertilize the lawn and now there's like lion stripes. Like it doesn't matter, like allow yourself to really just push through and your team will follow. That's what I think.
Agreed.
So true.
The customer will come.
Transparency. Yeah.
That's great.
Anyways, but yeah, that's what I would say.
That's a good finishing note.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
It was great to talk to Jen and Michelle about the process of them building their brand and all the things they've gone through, some of the lessons they've learned from manufacturing mistakes, how they've gotten to and built their momentum that is not slowing down anytime soon. Great conversation, very motivational, but also shows that when you really roll up your sleeves and get after it, people around you, whether it's your family, your friends, your co-founders, that hustle and grind is contagious. And they are, as a team, really leaning into that straight up grind that they're all getting into to build this thing. So I love it. It was great to chat with them. And I think some of that hustle rubbed off on me after our conversation, which I need every once in a while. Being a founder can be lonely and sometimes the motivation can go away, especially after like 10 years. So it's always good to just surround myself with these, brands that are at the beginning of something massive. And then that hustle, just kind of rubs off and inspires to get that hustle back, which I appreciate it. So speaking of brands, one more time, sponsor the episode, Dry Home. eco-chic home goods that dry instantly. Right now with the word founder, 15% off anything on our website. We've got the dish pads, the bath mats, we call them bath stones. We've got the sink caddies, the coasters, all kinds of products that are beautifully designed. They fit into all kinds of different homes and environments, and they're very functional and they're very good looking and neutral in a way where they can fit into any designed home. So check us out, www.dorai.com, DORAI. One good note that I've noticed in multiple companies and multiple founders, whether it's the CEO playing this role, whether it's sometimes it's just like a random buddy or a random supporting team member or a co-founder, they have the chief Zen officer, which keeps everybody amped up and motivated. It's very important, especially at the very beginning when things are tough and they're hard and it's, there's a lot of fires to put out and, that can kill momentum. So when you have that person on the team that keeps everybody amped up and excited, it really helps get through those tough times. There's another example of a person like that on a team at which they've been in past episodes. So Kirk Wimet from Stack, or Phi is the company name now. And then Scott Paul plays this role in that company where I don't honestly know what Scott does. Sorry, Scott. I don't know what you do there, but he is involved in the conversations. He is amping people up. He is searching and finding resources and getting people excited about what they're building. And I see that there. And then also with, Jen and Michelle, you can see that momentum, especially when they're the early stages, and little problems impact you more when you're really the buildup in the early stages of company, whether it's a manufacturing issue, whether it's a timeline delay and you stock out of inventory, whatever it might be, those things can be challenging and they hit so much harder when you don't have the excess cash flow, you don't have the excess sales channels to diversify what's being affected and stuff like that. So keeping that momentum and that motivation is extremely important. And it's always good to know that someone on the team is that chief Zen officer. I like what they called it. Another great point, which I've seen very often, is don't let perfect get in the way of good. If you wait too long to perfect something in building a brand or a company, by the time it's already perfected, you could have 1,000 customers that have bought and used the good item. And what you could have learned is, one, it is perfect as is, and there's just some minor tweaks and changes that you can make for the next version. Versus if you wait till it gets perfect, there's always going to be things that you're going to learn anyway. So you might as well get it to market, get it selling quicker, start getting customers giving you feedback. And that's more valuable in my opinion. So getting failure to launch, waiting for something to be perfect and delaying things a year, sometimes 2 years, which I've seen happen with some founders. It just depends on where you're at. If you want to get this thing going, get the ROI quicker and build quicker, get it to good where you're proud of it and you feel good about it, knowing that it's going to satisfy the need or the want that you originally built the product for. Get it out there, get customers, learn from that, versus just you could perfect it forever if you wanted to. It's just never going to be perfect. Nothing's perfect. So another field note is to don't let all the noise distract you. As a founder, set that anchor, stick to it, and don't let anything else throw you off track, whether a problem comes up, so on and so forth. Always root yourself back to that anchor. I like that mentality. And then, of course, this is kind of a summary of the last few that I've said, but it's great to reiterate, is just pushing through with that just do it mentality. And the value of that is not only the fact that you're getting stuff done and moving things forward, but it's contagious to everybody in the team that is working with you. And I mean, it is contagious. And it shows. And especially when you follow Jen and Fore All, and you see the videos of them posting of them working, and they're going to New York and all this stuff. And, she has her sons helping them. And then, Michelle is at this pro golfing tournament making an impact, with her soon to be husband, Mike Weir. By the way, Masters jacket wearing Mike Weir, pretty exciting to have him, around as they build this brand. But it is contagious, not just internally, but also externally. At the PGA trade show that was recently in California, they won the People's Choice Award overall. And I think not only does that have to do with the community and the product and the brand and, all of that wonderful stuff, but I do think that also ties into what these women are doing when building the brand. That's just the contagious part. So it's influencing everybody around them, and it's showing. So it's worth giving them a follow and just following along with this journey that they're in the midst of, and really just at the beginning of. I can't wait to see what they grow to and become. And hopefully they remember me and we're having this podcast. So thanks for listening. Founders Field Notes. So the next episode that you'll hear in 2 weeks is Jeremy Howlett from Ultra Running, a shoe company where there's a lot of exciting twists and turns that he went through in building that company. So thanks for joining. Follow us on all the social media channels at Klugonyx, Klugonyx. And we'll see you next time on Founders Field Notes. And it's showing. So it's worth giving them a follow and just following along with this journey that they're in the midst of, and really just at the beginning of. I can't wait to see what they grow to and become. And hopefully they remember me and we're having this podcast. So thanks for listening. Founders Field Notes. So the next episode that you'll hear in 2 weeks is Jeremy Howlett from Ultra Running, a shoe company where there's a lot of exciting twists and turns that he went through in building that company. So thanks for joining. Follow us on all the social media channels at Klugonyx, Klugonyx. And we'll see you next time on Founders Field Notes.